What would drive the wisest man who ever lived, a man who wrote Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, and the Song of Solomon, to marry 700 wives and keep 300 concubines? Was it love, lust, or something far deeper? Today, we're uncovering the hidden meaning behind Solomon's 1,000 women and how this decision changed not just his life, but the entire destiny of Israel. Introduction. When people hear about King Solomon's 700 wives and 300 concubines, it often sounds like an exaggeration, a myth, or even just an ancient king's obsession with pleasure. But the truth is far more complex. This wasn't just about romance, it was about power, politics, alliances, and eventually, spiritual downfall. To understand why Solomon had so many women, we must go back to the customs of kings in the ancient world, the rise of Israel under his rule, and the warnings God had already given about kingship. In the ancient Near East, marriages were not only personal, they were political. Every marriage to a foreign princess was like signing a peace treaty. By marrying the daughter of Pharaoh in Egypt, Solomon secured peace with the greatest empire of his day. By marrying women from Moab, Ammon, Edom, Sidon, and the Hittites, he tied Israel's future to every neighboring nation. Each wife represented an alliance, a pledge of safety, a bond of wealth. The concubines, on the other hand, were often a display of wealth and status, symbols of royal abundance. The more women a king had, the greater he appeared in the eyes of surrounding nations. But here's the catch. This directly violated God's command in Deuteronomy 17:17, that kings of Israel should not take many wives, lest their hearts be turned away. Solomon, despite his wisdom, ignored this divine warning. At first it may have seemed harmless. Israel enjoyed unmatched prosperity under Solomon. Gold was as common as stones in Jerusalem. His temple was one of the wonders of the ancient world. Nations came to hear his wisdom, including the famous Queen of Sheba. But slowly, the influence of his foreign wives began to take root. These women did not worship the God of Israel. They brought with them idols, shrines, and rituals from their homelands. Out of love, or perhaps to keep peace, Solomon allowed these practices. Soon, high places for pagan gods like Chemosh, Moloch, and Ashtoreth were built right in the land of Israel. The man who once prayed for wisdom to rule God's people had now opened the door for idol worship in God's holy nation. The aftermath was devastating. God's anger burned against Solomon. He told Solomon that the kingdom would be torn away from his family. Though it would not happen in Solomon's lifetime, out of respect for David, his father, it would happen to his son. And indeed, after Solomon's death, the kingdom split in two, Israel in the north and Judah in the south. What had once been a golden age of unity fractured into generations of conflict, idolatry, and eventual exile. All because Solomon ignored one of God's clearest warnings, the hidden meaning. So what is the deeper meaning behind Solomon's 700 wives and 300 concubines? 1. A warning against compromise. Even the wisest man can fall when he compromises. Solomon's downfall didn't happen overnight. It came through small concessions, allowing one shrine here, one idol there, until his heart was divided. 2. Symbol of excess and vanity. Ecclesiastes, written later in Solomon's life, shows a man reflecting on his choices. "I denied myself nothing my eyes desired," he wrote, "yet found it all to be meaningless." His 1,000 women were not a source of joy, but a symbol of emptiness without God. The heart of the king determines the heart of the nation. When Solomon strayed, Israel strayed with him. Leadership is not just about ruling, it's about influence. A divided heart in the king led to a divided kingdom in the people. Solomon's story isn't just history, it's a mirror for us today. We may not have 700 wives or 300 concubines, but we often collect distractions, desires, and compromises that slowly pull us away from God. Success, wealth, relationships, and ambitions can all become like Solomon's wives. Alliances that look good on the surface but lead us away from our true purpose. The lesson is clear. Wisdom without obedience is dangerous. It doesn't matter how wise, talented, or successful you are. If your heart is divided, your foundation will eventually crumble. King Solomon's 1,000 women were not just a story of pleasure. They were the seeds of his downfall and Israel's division. His story stands as one of the greatest warnings in Scripture. Never let abundance, power, or relationships turn your heart away from God. If you found this story eye-opening, make sure you stay with us, because the Bible is full of hidden truths like this, waiting to be uncovered. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear the warning from Solomon's life.